First things first, though. What's up, everybody? In the YouTube world. Shout out to everybody. Just got off the live with my boy Key Norfolk and everybody that was over there on his channel. It was real lit, as always, just like at Sanchez's channel. But can get ready to do my thing. Y'all already know how I get down. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna pay some payroll Giovanni. Trying to see, man. Nah, I'm gonna play me. I'm gonna play me. Yo. I'm gonna play some me. There we go.
When I hear the fighting spirit, I think about pushing towards something that you want to achieve. It's trio.
YouTube, Tetti, go to that thing.
You gotta live it up.
Subscribe.
You gotta live it up.
Catch my live. Check out my other videos.
If you born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. If you born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. They say that if you're born in this world covered in melanin, that you were cursed from birth with low intelligence, and you were only meant to slave and work for it. You just another motherfucker in a cotton field, suffering from cognitive dissonance due to politics, stuck in poverty, never seeing no way out of it, feeding for progress.
Come on now. What the fuck was that? You fucking with the groove.
Hustling to get it in, and all the moves that you making, you still standing still. The media damaging, governors pandering, punting your freedom for dollars and they just cash it in. They roll a dice with your life, they just gambling. National Guard now in charge, yeah, they with FEMA them. Be careful of the food America feeding them. Systematic ignorance to ensure that you never win. But if you're born and you die, you chosen to live. Yeah, treat your cares like the blunt, let it blow in the wind. If you're born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. If you born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. They say that if you born in this world and you got red skin, then you expecting you can possibly be an Indian, Aboriginal, Native, walking on flat land. Told you that you were African, now you ain't got land. It's for the next generation who don't understand. It's for the ones with the mind that can comprehend. Black lives matter, but will you help your fellow man? Stop fronting on the internet and start collecting bands. Join hands and business, put your money where your mouth is. And for the young ones who already got
how you doing tonight?
Feed they mind, fuck a fucking Nike outfit.
I'm actually live right now on my YouTube. Go to YouTube, Tetti. I'm finna do a video reaction to something real clean.
You tell a gang, sell a gang, go on, get some gear.
You know?
If you were born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no good, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. If you born
What's
on this
up? How
world
you
and
doing?
you already fucked, and if you black, then your
Good.
struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no good, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it on up.
You know? Hope everything going well with you. You know what I'm saying? Hope you feeling good. I'm ready to roll up again. You alright? You need to be great. You need to be great. Being you're great. You high, I'm high too. And they say, I own a cannabis club too, so yeah. Got them custom packets. You know what I'm saying? They're custom. You feel me?
I got a circle full of scammers, not rap friends. He posting with that pistol back in school, he used to tap dance. Tell the junkies come and shop, I got...
Man, get your ass off my shit. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, little buddy. Tell that motherfucker that I used to tap dance. Nigga, I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, they ask me, man, why you always talk to the little niggas, man?
Oh, yeah. Fuck with me, tap in with me.
That ain't my answer to you. You know what I'm saying? I was a little nigga, so I know what these niggas going through, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I do. You should do it too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Man, they ask me, they say, yeah, that's right. It's Trill. Dog records, nigga. Bitch, for show, so I can solve the show.
Yeah, man, I'm finna do a little video over here on my live on YouTube too. YouTube P Trill.
Avoid lame hoes, stand gang tight for life. Tell me nothing was open but legs late at night. But I done spent plenty late nights getting my paper right. Can't say what a hater may or what a nigga might. Avoid lame hoes, stand gang tight for life. Avoid lame ass hoes, cause this is part of life. Watching these fraud ass niggas, cause they be living shite. You gotta trust your first mind, can't be thinking twice. Move smooth, gotta put a nigga ass on ice. Cold slabs, if it's you or them, then it's them. Cause in this motherfucking game, you should play to win. If poor niggas don't hate you, let them hate you. Don't hate bitches play you for a sucker, don't you play with them. See, in this game, it's a bitch, at least that's what they say. So dress her up and treat her good and she gon' get you paid. Try to keep track of the mistakes you make. Niggas fake and they flake on you when you having thing. It's even worse when you grabbing thing. These jokers make a humble nigga turn into a savage, man.
Make a nun turn a freak for the cabbage, man. What's gonna be her excuse? She had to have it, man.
They told me nothing was open but legs late at night. But I done spent plenty late nights getting my paper right. Can't say what a hater may or what a nigga might. Avoid lame hoes, stand gang tight for life. They told me nothing was open but legs late at night. But I done spent plenty late nights getting my paper right. I can't say what a nigga may or what a hater might. Shit. I can't say what a nigga might say to you. A nigga gon' say anything to keep they paper moving. This that gas, this that pressure, this that razor's head. Ghost ride the track like that nigga with the flaming head. Can't make these motherfuckers happy, maintain your bread. But in your puzzle, other shit won't help you stay ahead. I guess another super sucker wanna take it there. Offense and defense is just like a circuit square. I'm often moving cautious, niggas staying dangerous. I'm from the land of head busters, hustlers, and gangbangers. I'm loot dog, trap money, make the label famous. So keep the custom freeze on the nigga chain dangling. I'm a Rowan posse too, we be flame jaming. I'm billionaire boy, him God can't pay. Bitch, yeah, it's Trill. That's right. Yeah, they told me nothing was open but legs late at night. But I done spent plenty late nights getting my paper right. Can't say what a hater may or what a nigga might. Avoid lame hoes, stand dang tight for life. They told me nothing was open but legs late at night. But I done spent plenty late nights getting my paper right. I can't say what a hater may or what a nigga might. Avoid lame hoes, stand dang tight for Leah. Yeah. That's right.
Custom shit.
I'm not.
Gotta fuck with
I'm not, honey. New dog representative. I'm out that Arkansas. I'm a hog and a little dog. Shout out to that boy Music. What's happening? Already.
Alright, shit. We in this bitch. You feel what I'm saying?
Around this bitch. Arkansas.
That's right. So I feel like we're gonna go and get into it. We're gonna go and do it. Alright, so to be honest, I kinda just want to freestyle tonight. I had nothing already I want to just get into, but I'm always collecting topics in order to share them with y'all. Yeah, that's the illusion of time. You know, I'm gonna get on that one. Tetti the Great Lectures. Oh, I had some real deep shit. Okay, so I got some crazy. So we gonna fuck with this CIA declassified files, and we're gonna check this out and see what they talking about. Since they declassifying everything now, like with the aliens and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how y'all feel about that? All this time, if you was talked about aliens, they made you feel like you was crazy or some shit like that. And now, you know what I'm saying, they come out talking about some, oh yeah, aliens is real. Yeah,
Would
you
you please tell us who you are?
Trust your ass. Now you want to tell us, yeah, we definitely don't trust this shit now.
That's all revolving around this
Crazy as hell, but
in the Messiah
yep.
45.
This episode is brought to you by Dashlane. Try Dashlane Premium free for 30 days at
Educational purposes only.
www.dashlane.com/infographics. And never forget another password. And keep all your online accounts
What's up, Juicy
secure.
M?
Periodically, the CIA
Everybody don't forget to go to
millions of
YouTube
pages and
P
declassified documents that become part of the
I'm
public
live
record.
right now.
In these, many top
Thank
secret
you.
projects and studies of the
I
past are
appreciate you.
revealed that many find surprising, if
I
not
hope you're having a good
unbelievable.
night too, and I
Some
hope
of the
you're feeling
craziest
real
may be
good.
rather embarrassing, if not flat out damaging to the CIA's reputation. Let's explore some of the weirdest
Thanks,
government-sanctioned operations with psychics,
Yeah, of
cats,
course, for
drugs,
sure.
and prostitution. In this episode
I'm
of
live
the
on my
Infographics
YouTube
Show,
right now, too.
CIA declassified documents that will blow you away.
At the
Up
same
until
time.
surprisingly recently, the CIA believed in psychic abilities, and they thought they could be utilized to benefit the government. According to CIA
Ain't
intelligence,
there
they
some
also
shit?
thought
Hold on,
the
let me
Russians
pause this
believed
shit
the
real
same.
quick. So they talking about the CIA that at one point just thought that they could harness psychic abilities in order to use them shits as a weapon, I suppose. I'm pretty sure they found out a bunch of shit. I remember this movie called The Men Who Stare at Goats, and it had George Clooney in it. And basically, what happened was the motherfuckers had honed their psychic abilities to such a point to where the motherfuckers could look at it, motherfucker, and kill it. Look at an animal or person and kill it. Do I believe that that's possible? Shit, yeah. I also believe that maybe they tapped into some shit. And maybe it was based on some people that they went and found. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do it. They find out you know some shit or that you can do some shit. And they search and seek your ass out. Or sometimes say your parent. That's why they done trained America to such a point where it's like that, to where say your parent discover some shit and then they figure, oh no, they crazy, and then try to take you somewhere for these motherfuckers to experiment on you. Yeah, that's all that's gonna happen. But they already expecting this shit because they done set it up to where to work like that. But alright, we're gonna get back to the video.
In fact, from 1969 to 1971, the CIA was concerned that the Soviet Union was training its citizens with psychic powers in the area of intelligence collection. Evidence suggested that the Soviets' efforts were funded by a 60 million ruble budget in 1970.
But check this shit out. Oh, in rubles, that's crazy. But yeah, so it went from that to the internet. So they don't want to. So the Russians don't gotta use psychics no more. They ass and get on the internet, put out apps that everybody gonna want to use and shit, just like what the Chinese did with TikTok. People forget that TikTok shit was fucking banned. Yeah, people was getting their information stolen and motherfuckers still getting on TikTok. I mean, I got like 80,000 streams on TikTok with one of my songs, one of my beats, but I don't even got a TikTok account. I mean, my company do, my distribution company through these music people, but yeah, other than that. But it was because I had seen what they was doing, and they had already tried them motherfuckers, and then ended up banning the damn app. But it ended up being released still. Because you can't ban a snowman. Everybody know that.
Which was later increased to 300 million 5 years later. In alarm, the CIA concluded that efforts must have been met with success to justify this additional expenditure. Not security, they too needed to investigate psychic powers. To this end, the CIA created several programs to study remote viewing, or the ability of an individual with psychic abilities to perceive something that a normal person cannot, because it's obscured from view.
Remote viewing. They're supposed to be able to give a motherfucker the power to see shit at a distance. Hold
Hello
up.
everyone, welcome to my channel.
Come on
If you
now.
have viewed some of my previous videos, welcome back. This video should really
Go back.
This is a church. This is a
Man, I'm finna have to take Facebook ass off for a little second, cause y'all tripping. God damn. Motherfucker don't even start till I get on live. Whole little thing up.
This episode is brought to you by Dashlane. Try Dashlane Premium
where
free
was I
for
at?
30 days. Explore this concept, such as the proposed 1977 Gondola Wish program, thought up by the Army Assistant Chief of Staff for Intelligence. The given purpose of the program was to train personnel to collect
fault,
sensitive
y'all.
intelligence
I gotta
using
do
psychic
that.
abilities, and
I usually
thereby
take the
determine
motherfucker
potential
off before I
threats,
go live.
weaknesses, and methods
But you
for
know what?
defense. When it
I
became
was just
operational the
basically
following
chilling
year,
and
it was
shit.
given the name Project Grill
like,
Flame,
fuck, I'm just gonna
and
go
its
live.
research was conducted at Fort
It's like
Meade in the state of
1
Maryland.
o'clock
Eventually,
right around
journalist
there.
Jack Anderson got a hold of the information about these CIA-endorsed psychic experiments and wrote about them in April of 1984. That same year, the National Academy of Sciences National Research Council gave its opinion, and it was not a flattering one. Unsurprisingly, the Army's funding was cut. However, that didn't stop the experiments, which were renamed and transferred elsewhere. By 1991, the latest program was codenamed Stargate. Stargate and its supporting research cost the U.S. government $20 million and included 40 personnel, 23 of which were remote viewers. 3 of these psychics worked at Fort Meade for years and were consulted by different government agencies on a need-by-need basis. During its run, Stargate claimed to have many unbelievable or 8 martini successes, after which those involved downed 8 beverages in order to calm down. Among other promising finds, one remote viewer was able to narrow down where a Soviet bomber had crashed in Africa, only missing the exact mark by a few miles. Another predicted that a Soviet submarine with 20 missile launch tubes would be sent out in 100 days, and 2, one of which fit the viewer's description, was seen 120 days later. When asked about Libyan chemicals, a remote viewer thought a ship called either Patua or Potua would go from Tripoli to Libya with them in his cargo. A ship called Batato did sail that route. However, what exactly it was carrying was never determined. Psychics supposedly helped with the identification of tunnels and underground structures in Iraq as well. There were even rumors that they hinted at the location of Saddam Hussein in Iraq, though this has never been unquestionably verified. However, for these successes, there were many flat-out failures as well. In 1974, a viewer asked to describe a Soviet airfield got minor details correct, but several additional ones wrong. Psychics were also unable to locate any plutonium in North Korea when asked in 1994. A static...
Alright, Tag, I'm gonna fuck with y'all some other time. It was cool going live with y'all. I gotta finish this video over here.
Statistician found that psychics working for the government had given correct information just 15% of the time, and incorrect details the remaining 85%. Similarly, a psychologist asked to evaluate their findings had little favorable to say. As a result, the American Institutes for Research recommended termination of the program in November of 1995. However, as crazy as trying to get information on Russian or other types of targets with the use of psychics may seem, the CIA has done other odd things as well. For example, the US government at one point tried to get recordings of critical intel by using a microphone-wearing animal according to a declassified 1967 memo. This plan, called Project Acoustic Kitty, was also thought up during the Cold War era as a way to spy on the Soviets, specifically on the Kremlin and those in embassies. And the CIA planned to train cats, renowned for taking direction from no one or anything save their stomach and insatiable curiosity to do it. The project started with one cat and a recording device. According to diagrams, a radio transmitter was inserted in the back of the cat's head and a microphone was placed in its ear. The power supply was embedded beneath its fur and down the front of its body, and an antenna ran along its spine to its tail. The operation to attach the device took approximately 1 hour to complete. However, the project itself took 5 years. It was difficult to determine the best placement of each piece of the recording device, or come up with one that could be both functional and indiscernible once attached.
Then, of course, the cat also required training. However, despite their best efforts, the feline failed to cooperate. While this comes as a surprise to no cat owner anywhere, it apparently was unanticipated by the CIA. The cat would get easily distracted by things around it or wander away to get food, instead of focusing on the key objective during training. Then there was also its first official mission, which was a dismal failure. The cat was sent to spy on two men seated on a bench, but it was instead hit by a car while crossing the street. After years of hard work and $20 million of government money, Project Acoustic Kitty was, for obvious reasons, discontinued. While the death of the cat was unfortunate, there was no scandal when it died, and Project Acoustic Kitty ended. The same could not be said for MK Ultra, another CIA project that resulted in a congressional hearing when it was not cats but human beings involved in questionable experimentation. The MK Ultra program was given the green light in 1953 and continued for the next 10 years, though what we know about it for certain is limited to its surviving pages. Many, understandably, were destroyed to protect those involved. The motivation for the program, once again, was an attempt by the U.S. government to keep abreast of Soviet advancements, this time in the area of mind control. The CIA had reason to believe that the Soviets had been attempting to both make and purchase all available LSD for this purpose. This in turn led the CIA to conclude that the drug could have brain warfare applications, though little was known about it in the States. To determine its exact uses, several scientists agreed that an experiment involving unsuspecting participants would prove helpful.
If the price of full-time filmmaker has kept you from instantly improving the quality of your videos, I've made a brand new mini-core.
The government did this in program MK Ultra.
Damn.
MK Ultra ultimately got out of hand and resulted in government representatives giving drugs to thousands of Americans without their consent or knowledge. The drugs were used to see if they could mimic alcohol intoxication, aid in hypnosis, boost torture endurance, or create amnesia or confusion. The government hoped that they could assist with interrogations as well. Unfortunately, many of those who were experimented upon had little say in the matter. They were selected from among the most vulnerable of the population, such as prisoners addicted to drugs, sex workers, or the terminally ill. 2 Americans died and many more suffered because of the related experiments carried out by the CIA and contracted universities and research institutions. One of those who was killed was a CIA employee who had consumed a drink that had been laced with LSD by his supervisor. 9 days later, he was dead after falling 13 floors from the Hotel Statler. After his death, President Gerald Ford apologized to his family, and they were given a wrongful death settlement. However, some suggest that beyond this and its other known casualty, the program had additional far-reaching effects. Some claim MK Ultra's experiments are related to JFK's assassination to the actions of Charles Manson. However, there's no concrete proof of either. As shocking as MK Ultra was, further paperwork has revealed yet additional drug-related and government-supported experiments. For example, LSD was also used in the CIA's Operation Midnight Climax from 1953 to 1964. This program was carried out by an Army captain and CIA operative known as George Hunter White and targeted the residents of New York and San Francisco. White took CIA safe houses and used them to create with suggestive decorations and where prostitutes were given cash to engage in sexual activities. These actions were observed behind two-way mirrors after LSD or other drugs were added to clueless men's drinks. A memo found from related documents has made some question whether the real purpose of Operation Midnight Climax wasn't to observe the drugged men, but rather the prostitutes to see if they'd be effective as government spies. By having sex with the enemy, it was thought that they could get information that could prove useful to the government. Indeed, the CIA worked to determine when during the process of seducing a man that a woman can ask questions to get critical intel. The answer was directly after sex, not before. LSD experimentation of all kinds ground to a halt in 1963. The Inspector General deemed that the agency needed to follow different research ethics and discontinue all experiments on unsuspecting citizens. Congressional hearings followed. However, CIA agents claimed they couldn't remember a lot of details, and because many files had been destroyed, little could be done in the area of accountability. Given the documents we do have that detail these shocking government-initiated events, missing pages make us wonder just how much and what exactly remains unknown still. It's pure luck that some documentation of MK Ultra was mistakenly left behind, while the rest was destroyed. However, the CIA could have avoided the resulting outrage or bewilderment by simply having used better logic and judgment, and never having done most of these operations to begin with. Psychic experimentation and drugging citizens are clearly not the greatest ideas, and who in their right mind would try to train a cat? From UFO encounters to assassination attempts, the CIA keeps some seriously classified secrets from the public, yet hackers are always trying to find it. But the CIA is not the only one at risk for hacking. You are much more likely to be their actual target. No need to worry though, because Dashlink's the one and only tool you need to not just keep your personal info and
so them projects, what they was to them, which I told y'all that if you went to school, you went and you had a class, or either you encountered at some time the subject or topic social studies. Yeah, this shit is a part of it, where they studying our ass. So from Project Stargate to MK Ultra, you see what I'm saying? Then it's probably other programs where this shit just stringed along too. To the last situation where, come on man, there's some crazy shit. They gave them people money to open a brothel and put hoes in that bitch and watch folks. Like, what kind of shit is this? It's that government shit, man. They don't play no games when it come down to it. But y'all hit me up in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to share it, like it, subscribe to my channel if it's your first time seeing it. Also the infographics channel. And shit, we're gonna come back with some more